It is day 2 of the Sea Otter Classic. We're continuing our coverage, looking at all new unreleased bikes. We've got 5 more companies we're checking out today. Let's go get after it. Well, 2024 is an Olympic year, and usually that means we get to see lots of cool new cross-country bikes, and some of the latest ones are right here. You guys just released 2 new bikes this weekend, is that correct?
Yes, the Dog
Cool.
XC.
Yes.
We have it in 2 versions, a hardtail and a full suspension. Finally, the bike that Tom Peacock and Pauline were both riding at the World Cup last year.
We had to watch it, but we couldn't actually get our hands on it.
It was one of those ones where they're like, are they actually going to release this? Happened? We took a minute. We made sure that we were commercially happy with everything that we had there, and here it is.
Cool.
We're very excited by it. When we did the development of this bike, we really sat down with Pauline, with Tom, and just asked, what are the things that you're looking for in this bike? Stiffness was paramount. Especially Tom in particular. He does so much road racing.
Power he puts through those cranks.
Exactly. And the thing that he does is, because he spends all his time on a road bike to then quickly switch and jump onto a mountain bike for 3 or 4 races a year. He's a little more used to kind of that feeling.
Absolutely.
So it was, what can you do? So we did this bottom triangle here that really stiffened up the bike. It has a lot more of that immediate reactionary feeling that you get kind of on the road bikes. And then the other piece is like, look, I only need 90 and 100. That does it for World Cup cross country. So this is a racing machine. This isn't an all trail machine, but for what it was built for and what it is accomplishing already, we feel very confident in it. Other cool things, Fox just released this Step 32. So this is the first bike actually probably at the show that you've even seen this on.
Other than the Fox boots,
yeah, exactly. So we're amped on that. The entire bike itself weighs 23 pounds, as you see it's spec'd right now. So
cool.
It's light, it's fast. It's got some world champ paint on it. Hopefully we can keep that going.
Already proved itself.
Exactly.
That's
the plan.
Cool. Well, thank you, Charlie.
Absolutely.
Tons of cool, exciting stuff, and I'm sure we'll be seeing lots of these on the podium this summer.
I love that. Thank you.
All right, well, we are here at the Haro booth, and if you've spent any time on the internet over the last couple days, you've probably seen that they have some pretty cool new stuff in the works. And I found Megan here, and she's going to fill us in not only on these 2 new prototype bikes, but also just a little bit about Haro as a brand. So take it away.
Yeah, so Haro Bikes, we really have most of our heritage in the BMX side of the industry. So a lot of people have grown up riding a Haro, small-wheeled bike. But really pulling that now forward into some other disciplines, including mountain bikes. So we launched our new Saguaro hardtail platform in January. So full 29er with really modern geo. That was kind of like a little bit of like a nod to where we're headed, which is full suspension. So we'll have 2 new platforms launching later this year. The first here is the Greer. So named after a local riding spot in North County, San Diego, where Haro is based.
Cool.
So 160 rear, 170 front travel. Mullet wheel sizes across all sizes, even smalls. It'll launch first in alloy, and that'll be like midsummer time frame. And then coming with carbon options later this year, probably end of the year.
Awesome.
So that's the Greer, and then we also have the Daily. So the Daily is more of our all-mountain trail bike. It's full 29er, very similar geo to what we launched with the hardtail Saguaro, so wanting to have like a consistent story there.
Cool. Really good looking bikes too. Clean lines and not anything crazy going on. I think people are going to be a fan of that. And speaking of good looking bikes, I've seen this guy back here. It looks like there's some people talking about it right now, but what's that drop bar bike back in the corner?
I mean, if you thought it was crazy that Haro was getting into mountain bikes, we're getting into drop bar bikes too.
Sweet.
So we have a new Revette road bike that'll launch in May, and then a new Buzzard gravel bike that'll launch probably end of May. Super stiff, racy gravel bike. But just trying to take the same approach of like clean lines, thoughtful spec, everything that you need, nothing you don't.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Megan. Super stoked on everything that's going on here, and we'll be excited to see these new bikes at the market.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely. All right, we are at Black Heart Bikes. I'm here with Casey, Casey is a friend of the brand, right?
Yes, yeah, friend of the brand.
Okay, cool. Tell us about what we are looking at right here. This is a beautiful bike. What is it?
So this is our new road aluminum build, available as a complete and frame set. So it's going to be a geometry match of our road titanium that we released here last year.
Cool.
Super excited about this bike. We dropped it yesterday, so not too many people have seen this yet. I'm super excited. It comes with custom Cerakote paint, so 150 options, I believe, to choose from. And really the ethos behind this bike is something more affordable, approachable, getting someone who's interested in racing, whether it's crits or a general recreational cyclist, a bit more approachable than our road titanium.
Sure.
Frame sets start at $2,000, and there's some pretty cool features I'd like to talk about. I mentioned the paint, fully integrated. Cabling, integrated bar stem on this build.
Logo on the stem too.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. And we've got clearance for 32mm tires, which you're not going to see too many aluminum road racing frames with that kind of clearance. For me, my background in road racing and cycling, broke college students, so aluminum was the name of the game.
Totally.
Back when you could only fit 25mm tires in a frame set, and so seeing this is just makes me so happy that a brand like Blackheart is coming out with something that can do a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. And for people who aren't familiar with Blackheart, can you tell us a little bit more about just the brand ethos? I mean, I see you got a gravel bike over there. Just like, tell us a little more about Blackheart in general.
Kind of came into the space with the idea of making a cycling brand that's approachable. Whether you're a pro or a brand new cyclist, a little bit of something for everyone. So,
and I love just like the classic aesthetic of it too. You know, like so many race bikes nowadays. I mean, and that's a look for some people, but this is just like, that looks like a bike. And I really appreciate that, you know?
Totally, and it's one of those things where you're seeing a lot of the big bike manufacturers are hiring aerospace engineers to design frames, and that's great if you're in the pro peloton.
Sure.
But most cyclists aren't.
I'm not going to notice the 7 watts I'm saving or something.
Exactly. You know, saving 3 watts over 20 kilometers is not a big deal for most people.
Yeah.
And so what we get to focus on is aesthetic, clean lines, you know, hidden cables, and just a bike that's beautiful to look at.
Absolutely, and fun to ride.
Exactly. That's the most important part is getting people out on bikes and enjoying cycling.
Cool. Bike number 2. You just told me this guy just won a pretty significant award. What's that?
Bicycling Magazine Gravel Bike of the Year.
Crazy. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're super excited. This is going to be our kind of dedicated racer. Most of the time on a kind of adventure dedicated gravel bike, you're going to see slack geometries, long rear end, really slack head tube. Here is going to be a bit more dedicated to racing, so you're going to see there's some pretty tight clearance here. Short change stays as much as possible without sacrificing clearance. A bit of a slacker front end, but not too bad with an aggressive saddle to bar drop. But we do have 3 bottle mounts and 4 drilled for either cages or cargo. So something that you could race on and bike pack on.
Well, congratulations again on that award.
Thank you so much.
And we'll hope to get one of these and try it out soon ourselves. So
absolutely.
Looks like a sweet bike. All right, well, we're here with SCOR and BMC over there, and we're here with Tyler. Tyler's going to tell us a little bit about what we have going on both the mountain and roadside, and of course, gravel as well. So, what do we got?
So, rewind a few years, we launched SCOR, which is under the BMC umbrella. The concept with SCOR is all about being playful, being fun, being exciting. It's something that it's less about being the first one down the mountain and more about the one that has the biggest smile on their face. And that's just super stoked to be riding the trail or having a little section of it that you continually play on and have fun with. We're able to do that kind of through the geometry of the bike. We're seeing a lot of bikes that are getting longer and longer and longer. Our view is kind of simple. We can keep the geometry fairly compact, which will increase the maneuverability, the handling, and the fun factor of it. Come to about 1.5 years ago, and we launched the 2030. Very, very excited about this bike. There's no doubt that this could be a bike for any mountain biker out there in the dirt community. Where we view 2030 is taking that enduro platform and bringing it back down a hair. And again, I know there's a fine line there, but the way in which we do that, the 2030 is based around a 120 rear, with a 144 and a 64.5-degree head tube angle. So some of these numbers we see in trail bikes, some of them we see in our more pedal-friendly bikes, but it has, you know, the joke we make is that it's 50% uphill and 70% downhill. And I didn't say it was a good joke, but it kind of talks to who that rider is and what the bike is capable for.
So would you say it's fair to say it's more of a scaled-down enduro bike than a beefed-up cross-country bike?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. The one thing we don't talk enough about with SCOR is that it still has a heritage and the kinematics of engineering from BMC. Yeah. So these bikes pedal really well. So you want to earn those turns. These are fantastic bikes for that.
Cool. Yeah. And speaking of BMC, what do we have on the other side of the booth?
So on April 9th this year, sorry I didn't do the outfit change to go into my BMC gear, but on April 9th we launched the third generation of Road Machine. Just a little background on Road Machine. This is our endurance category, okay? Where it shares with, let's say, that endurance category with other products is we want to build it with more stack and a little less reach. From its previous version, we've actually increased the stack height by about 1 centimeter in all sizes, give or take a hair, which also brings in a little bit of a shorter head top tube. One thing that we notice in endurance bikes, and we want this bike to maintain the DNA that BMC is, which is performance driven, right? We want to make sure that this bike climbs well, it descends even better. But you know, we view performance also as fun, right? The more sharp handling a bike is, the more fun it is, the more exciting we, the rider, are having as a whole. And so this, while it is in the endurance category, the stack and the reach are kind of the similarity in that category. Where it stands out is that it's an incredibly fun and exciting bike to ride. A few new features for this year in comparison to the previous generation. The big one, which everyone always asks about, is tire clearance, right? That's a conversation in the industry constantly.
Which is big, no pun intended, on this bike.
100%. It goes all the way to a 40C tire.
And that's crazy.
Okay. We spec it still as a road bike. It is the Road Machine. So out of the box, the Road Machine 01 and the Road Machine Core bike will come with a 30C tire. But you can dress it how you want. You know, make it how you want.
Get a second wheel set, and now you have 2 bikes.
100%. And as you can see, we view it as something that can conquer all segments of cycling. Another big add-on for us this year was the down tube storage. So integrated storage in the down tube here. The 01 bikes will come with a small little pouch. It's also capped at both ends. It's finished really well. If you get a close-up in here, you can actually see the IP routing, which all the hydro lines actually have little carbon sleeves that run down there. You know, one thing is it makes building easier for our mechanic friends, but the other thing too is that it stops the rattling. You know, keeps things quiet, right? Another feature, which we actually started, almost 15 years ago with the Gran Fondo, is integrated chain security, right? You're riding gravel, you're riding cobbles, you're riding rough stuff. You want to make sure that chain stays on the bike. That was something we engineered with Gran Fondo many years ago. We continue to transfer it. The other big add-on for this bike, obviously another big talking point, is safety. So we've integrated a rear light in the 01 bikes as well. It's an add-on for the core
but still
product.
Compatible.
Absolutely.
Right?
So rechargeable USB, nice bright light.
Sweet. Seems like a really cool bike. I think it's going to be one that's going to tick all the boxes for a lot of people. So.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. A great price range for basically a lot of different consumers. So starting at about $3,200, and obviously coming into the super bike range too. We're excited about it, and we believe that it's a bike for pretty much anybody, or absolutely something where you can add that extra arrow to the quiver, or have it be your single arrow in the quiver.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Taylor. Really appreciate you taking time to chat with us. That's a wrap on day 2 of Sea Otter Classic coverage. We've got one more day, so that means if there are more brands that you want to see, then you got to leave those in the comments so that we can make sure to check them out. Until then, remember that bikes are for everyone. Have fun out there.